that's to be expected. Um, so hi everybody, welcome to Share Canada's Zoom book launch party. We are so excited to be recognizing her tonight for her book, the brand new book, The Mirror's Been Lying to You, How to Look and Feel Beautiful Every Day. It's already achieved a #1 new release on Amazon, which we're super excited about. And we want to welcome Cher to this book launch. Congratulations, Cher.
Thank you. I check is all I want to say. Like I never ever thought I'd be an author, and when I thought about writing a book, I never thought I'd get it done, and I couldn't have gotten it done without you and Heather. I couldn't have. It'd still be in the wish file.
Okay, well, I mean, Cher is an amazing woman. If you are on here, you already know Cher. If you're watching this after at the recording and you don't know her yet, be sure to follow her on social media at Cher Canada or at Shop She Can Love. And she does live Zooms or live Instagrams every week. And tonight we're going to talk a bit about her book and her expertise and how she was able to get this book. I know she's saying we helped her do it, which we did, but it's her expertise, her desire to help you as a woman to look and feel beautiful every day. And that desire birthed the book. So, Cher, let's talk a little bit about who you are and your career and what you've seen about women in the dressing room and the things that you brought forth in this book. Like, how did you take some of this experience to get this idea together for your book?
Okay. I've been in fitting rooms for 45 years and I've seen it all. And I guess after 45 years of seeing and hearing women see things that absolutely nobody else sees to the point of tears. I mean, I've had women in tears in a fitting room because they don't like their arms or they don't like their legs or they are starving themselves and they've done everything. And I take them and I try to express to them, they're when they're right in front of you, it's easier. But I wrote the book, so I'm hoping I can get to more people than just in my fitting rooms,
Yes.
because I want to tell them that the mirror is lying, that we
Mm-hmm.
don't see that. We don't notice. Nobody else is looking at that. Because
Mm-hmm.
we as women all get hyper like freaked out about it. And then that's all we look at. Every time we look in the mirror, that's all we look at. I have a friend who's got wrinkly arms. Well, she's 80 years old. He's gonna have wrinkly arms. And she's, complains about it all the time. And I go, you know what? I said, I don't even look at them. I look at her beautiful face, her amazing personality, what outfit she has on. So that's where the book came from, April.
Yeah.
Trying to save women out there from feeling bad about their bodies and what God gave them.
Mm. That's beautiful. And you know, the culture we live in, especially in fashion, we all have this pressure to have the perfect figure, the perfect this, the perfect, like you said, arms, stomach, no wrinkles. And it's not realistic as we age. And so when you're saying someone who is 80 is focusing on their arms, it's focusing on the wrong thing. And I think that's what's so beautiful about the title you chose. So I want to talk a little bit about this when you say the mirror's been lying to you. What are those things that women see in the mirror that's lying to them that you're trying to say, stop doing that?
Well, here it's the combination of the clothing that you wear with the mirror line.
Hmm.
Because if you put on the wrong pair of jeans with the pockets that are not placed for your rear end, you're going to look fat.
Yeah.
And that's what the mirror is going to tell you. And you know what? The mirror may be right that your butt looks bigger in these pants. It's not your problem, it's the pockets. You are
Hmm.
trying on a pair of pants where the pockets are not aligning with how your rear end is shaped. And I wrote a
Hmm.
whole chapter on that because it's
Hmm.
all about pocket placement. And, women just, it's, I study this. I'm a victim of fashion. I don't even go to the mailbox without having lipstick and mascara and a cute outfit on. I just don't, because I'm. That's just. I don't, if I don't want to look in the mirror at myself, I sure as heck don't want anybody else to have to look at me either. So I study it. When they have the big award show, the most important thing for me is to see it the next day because I want to know what are the hot colors. Not that I'm going to be buying ball gowns, but I want to know what are the hot colors? What were they talking about? What color, what kind of hairstyles are going on? What kind of hair color was happening? Those are the things that I look for. And that's why when I see somebody like Heather, And she said, Cher, which color? And I pick out this color that she's probably never worn before, but it lights, the room lights up with her complexion in that color. And I just don't think women, because this isn't their lane, this isn't what they do. And I
Hmm.
live for this. And
Yeah.
so that's what I think, that's where the title came from, is because every time I'm in a fitting room and I see a woman put something on that isn't right for her body, I want to grab her before she looks in the mirror, because then she's ruined. She's like, oh God, this is awful. I'm fat. I'm ugly. I'm not going to do this. So
Hmm.
my biggest goal is to get to her before that happens, or to
Yeah.
try to convince her to try, or to give her the knowledge that I've put in this book about why I picked. I want Heather to know why I picked that sweater color for her. Because then the next time, if she's shopping by herself, she's going to be able to know, oh my gosh, I learned something from Cher the other day. Always pick out the sweater that's the color of your eyes first, and then go with your complexion, and just trying to give them a little bit of knowledge to help make the right decisions.
I love that. So you're right. It's with the combination of the fit of the clothing. Just when I was in your store last week and you picked out a pair of jeans for me and they turned out perfect, which I love. It's understanding that that style works for me and my body shape.
Correct.
And that having the proper fit and style will also help you feel better about yourself. But also it's the confidence, and you're so good about helping women feel confident about themselves. And I want to talk about that piece because really that is the goal, right? To feel
Yep.
confident in who you are. So, on the back of the book here, it says confidence. It's the single most beautiful thing a woman can wear every day. So, how did you embrace in your own life confidence?
Another great question, April, because I didn't have any. I
Hmm.
faked it.
Hmm.
Um, I was born in Nebraska, went to country school until I was in sixth grade. I had two people in my class. I did everything Laura Ingalls did except ride my Shetland pony to school. That's the only thing I didn't have to do. But I really did grow up that way. And I went to University of Nebraska my first year, and I came home and I said to my mom and dad, I don't belong here. And they're like, where do you belong? And I found this school in Miami, and I took off and I went there by myself. I'd never
Mm.
left a state. I'd gotten my 67 Chevy with my mom and my grandma, and we drove to Miami and they flew back. And I don't know where I got the guts to do that,
Mm.
but I did. And it was the best thing I've ever done, because I go back home to Nebraska now and I see my roommates or my friends from high school, and I'm like, oh, thank God I didn't stay here, because what? No, they all have permanents. They've all gained too much weight, and I'm just like, oh my God, that could be me, because that's the environment. It's just it's just the environment. And I just, everybody always thought I had confidence, but I knew that if I was going to kill it in this industry, because this is a tough industry,
Mm.
and I knew that I could sell. I knew that I'm on board. Everybody said, Sherry, you should be selling helicopters or airplanes or something like that. I don't love to sell like that. I love to make women feel beautiful.
Mm.
That's where I come in to being a great saleswoman, because I get all of the glory out of making women and their face. Or like seeing Heather when she put that sweater on, or seeing her today when she's talking about how she looked with that sweater on. That's what I live for. That's my moment. That's my applause. That's my crown. When I get that woman, when I get you, and I say, you know what, April, your ass looks absolutely amazing in those jeans. Like, I want to grab it. And if it didn't, I would tell you, April, those aren't the jeans for you. I got a better pair. And
Hmm.
my whole team is counseled on doing that. We're not going to tell you you look fat in that. We're going to say, you know what? I've got a style that's going to much better fit your body type.
Hmm.
And the biggest thing here, ladies, in this whole book, is figuring out your body type and knowing it before you go in and look at something. Maybe you have big hips. Maybe God gave you hips. God didn't give me any. So I'm more worried about trying to make myself look like I have some than not having. So maybe God gave you hips. Well, don't go and buy this big dress with this big bouffant. You're going to put that on. You're not going to like how you look. And then it's going to
Hmm.
ruin your day. And then you're going to feel fat for the whole rest of the day. And if you go into the fitting room knowing what's right for your body type, you're going to have a much easier time.
I love that. And what I'm hearing you say too is confidence has to do with embracing what God gave you, not saying, how can I change before I buy the good clothes, right? Like, oh, I wish I could lose 15 pounds and then I'll go shop with Cher and buy the nice clothes. It's being who you are, accepting who you are, and then dressing for your body style.
Correct.
Yeah. So what are some of the tips? We talked about pocket placement and in the book, Share shares so many tips and tricks on how to look and feel your best. But what are some easy things that you can tell some women about their style and how to dress appropriately?
The easiest ones are the chapter on the little slim secrets.
Yeah.
I don't ever leave the room without my collar popped, and I do it for two reasons. Number one, I think I just look freaking cool.
Yeah.
When I see women with a crisp white shirt and they walk across the room and they have the back of their collar popped, I'm like, oh my God, she looks like she has it going on, but she didn't take a whole lot of time doing it because it just comes natural to her. And that's what I want every woman to look and feel like. Like I want them to look at her and go, isn't she cool? And she just woke up that way. Like
Yeah.
that's how I think I look and it does make you look taller. So always pop your collar. Women always ask, what if my collar won't stay up? Take a bobby pin and just put it right on the back of the collar and it'll stand the back of the collar right up. So that's it. Sleeve length. You will never see me in a long sleeve. You'll always see me in a 3/4. If you push up your sleeves, it differentiates where your hip stops and your arm starts. So you're automatically going to look like you have slimmer hips. So I think that's a really, really, really good one.
Yeah.
Um, I think a lot of women that have hips think that you can't wear a wider leg jean, and that's absolutely wrong. If you have hips and you don't want to show them off and you want them to look slimmer, the worst thing you can do is wear a skinny jean because it's an inverted V. And I think women think when they see like a wider leg pant, they think, oh, that's going to make me look wide. It does the absolute opposite. So those are the biggest ones, I think.
Hmm. Yeah.
If you always do a front tuck, it's going to make your legs look longer. And
Hmm.
if you go in the book, I've got all the slim secrets. If you go on the QR code, you can go
Hmm.
and you can see I show on a model in the boutique how to do all of those things. Because some of them, you can tell somebody how to do them, but they do need a visual.
Yes. And I love that, as Cher was creating this book and working with Heather, and we'll talk a little bit about editorial here, but we really wanted to provide the reader with the visual experience because it's one thing to read it and it's another thing to watch Cher in action talking about some of these tips and tricks, which is why we decided to include that QR code so that you as a reader can scan that, get into her vault of slim secrets and see her actually demonstrate what she's telling you on the pages, which I think is such a beautiful gift that you've given your readers. I want to talk a little bit, go off the trail here a little bit and talk about the writing experience because when you and I first met and talked about your book and you had written some things and you brought your iPad and we were looking through your Google Doc and I don't think you or I either knew what was to come down the editorial trail. And so, hence Heather comes on board, and this is her area of genius. So this is her where she gets to wear her crown because she's so good at what she does. But
Yes.
so let's talk a little bit, Heather, you and Cher, talk a little bit about the editorial process and how that developed and how the book really got ironed out, because I think there were so many things that came from that process of writing and working together.
There really was. It's almost hard to remember where we started, like what we started with now, right? Because what we have is like just we love it so much and I'm so happy. But Cher, go back to that beginning when we first started working together. Do you remember any of what that was like when we first started?
Well, I first of all, I thought you were just one of the sharpest tools in the shed because, and I want to go back just for 2 seconds because when I decided I really was gonna like get this, like make this into a book, because I was writing it, but I never even knew if I'd really have it published. I was just writing it. And when I decided I was writing it, I went around town and asked 4 different people, women and people that I respect that are in business, who should publish my book. And they all said April O'Leary. Like there was no question I was going to April O'Leary. And I'm now a walking commercial for O'Leary Publishing because you guys made it so simple. And I remember one of the biggest things, Heather, is we were going through it and you said you loved the little stories and
Yes.
before the chapters. And
Yes.
you said, and then, so you had me add those to every chapter. And then you said, I love the quotes. And I said, okay, I can get more quotes. And then so I did that. So you would read it and then you'd give me an assignment. I'd be like, oh, it's just getting better every time.
Yes, those stories at the end of each chapter, we call them style files, and it's real life women who have some kind of a problem that they want you to solve, and you solve it for them, and you talk about that. And we added those to the end of each chapter, right? You kept doing more and more, you kept coming up with more. And then the quotes at the beginning are so beautiful, the way that those are done, and those are such great quotes. And it really made the book complete, didn't it, with those two elements?
It was a great mix of, here's some quotes from famous people, and then it just kind of topped off every single chapter. I just thought it was just a great addition to the book, Heather.
You were so wonderful to work with in that sense, because anything I asked you to do, you're like, I can do that with all the Cher enthusiasm in the world. As if she was dressing a woman, she was dressing her book. Really, is what you were doing, wasn't it?
Yes,
It
it
was, it was
was.
amazing to have that. So we really kept developing it, right? And it almost took on a life of its own, didn't it? Kind of like said what it wanted to be.
Yes. And
And
then after we had so many iterations, and then after the final one, I mean, I remember the last time I finished reading it, because Heather said, you got to read it again, got to read it again, got to read it again. After the last time I read it, I sat in the bed and I just started crying because I was like, holy crap, Cher, you're an author. You just wrote a book.
Yeah.
But
a
again,
really good book, a really practical book, a really helpful book.
well, thank you. People are already asking me when my sister-in-law is here in town. She's visiting, and she said she doesn't wear black, but she said, Cher, I need a blue blazer. So we're going out to dinner with them tomorrow night. I'm surprising her. I got one at the store, and I'm going to surprise her. She said, I can't live without a blazer. I need it to finish my look. And I think the biggest one is the sneakers.
Hmm.
I'm 65 years old, and women my age think that they can't wear sneakers with everything. That is so wrong. Like, I wear them with all my dresses. I dress them up. That's what I do. It's how I roll. And they are the hip moment. They're the hip moment. And just because you're 65 doesn't mean you can't explore and appreciate the hip moments. You just have
Hmm.
to do them the right way. There are
Right.
so many trends that I think are inappropriate for my age group, and they just are. They're inappropriate. And then there are so many that are perfect, and you just
Hmm.
have to kind of know which ones they are.
So, Cher, I have a couple questions for you. How do you think you changed through this process of working with us and putting this book together?
Um, it is probably one of the most humbling experience I've ever had. Um, it you have all been so gracious and so complimentary and so easy to work with. It's just been absolutely humbling, to think that somebody like me. I, I've been telling everybody, everybody's got a book in them. I've been telling everybody,
Sure.
everybody can write a book. If you have somebody like um, O'Leary Publishing behind you, anybody can write a book,
Yeah,
because everybody's got a story to tell. And
they do.
this was my story. It was
Hmm.
45 years of loving. I had the best retail career in the world. I worked for Chico's. It was the best company to work for in the world. I worked there 23 years. For 13 of those years, we had double digit comp increases. So we beat last year 13 and a half years in a row.
Wow.
That is unheard of.
Incredible.
And you know why? Because everybody believed in me. They believed in me. And all I did is I said, ladies, can you please not close those doors until you prove to me that you're a dollar better than you were last year? Because otherwise, this whole year was a waste of our time. And you know what? That's what they did. That's what they did. So I feel so lucky, to have worked with all the amazing women and a few good men. There are a few men in there, but I had 22,000 women reporting to me at Chico's at one time.
Mm.
Incredible.
Yeah, when I had the three brands, and their work ethics. I mean, they still keep in touch with me. And again, I just text Marvin Elaine to show them the picture of the book signing and some of the women from Chico's that came, because they're behind me going, go, go, go. Where do you find people like that?
Mm.
They're hard to find.
Well, you attract them because that's who you are. So
Well,
that's right.
thank you, Heather.
So Cher, if there's someone out there who's watching this, who has a book in them and a story that they want to write, but feel like, who am I to write a book? What would you say to them about how to go about it, about how
Okay,
to make it happen?
I already have this down, because I just told my personal trainer yesterday that he needs to write a book. And he's writing songs too, or he wanted to know, I play guitar. When I went to Miami, my parents didn't have any money, so I pumped gas. I sang in a band. I I worked in clothing stores. I did anything that anybody would pay me for. Okay. So I really think that I just lost my train of thought. What was I? Oh,
so the advice you would give to people who want to write a book.
Okay. Here's what I told him. First, come up with a chapter or a title. Come up with a title. So I came up with the title first, and that was my inspiration. Then I said, now come up with chapters. Just give me some overarching, like whatever you're thinking about your book, give me some overarching, doesn't have to be perfect. Just write like 10 things down that you want to talk about in this book. Then during your day, get your tablet out, and every time you think of something that's going to go under one of those chapters, write it down. And so he already started writing his book.
I think you're going to be joining our editing team,
Cher.
I mean, I don't know. April, is that wrong? I don't know.
No, it's great.
It's absolutely perfect. Yes, you're going to join us.
But anybody could write a book if you go about it that way.
Yes.
I mean, you just can. I've got my tennis pro. He's writing a book now too.
Incredible. Look at you.
Well, Cher makes it all look easy.
Yeah.
And I think that your enthusiasm is also very inspiring. And I think that's why, women who you've worked with for many years have stayed in touch with you and want to talk to you. That's why people, in reading this book, the feel and the vibe of this book is so encouraging. It's so positive. It's so women centric, that you, no matter who you are, can look and feel good. You can feel confident, and your energy just pops off of the pages in a way that the reader can, I feel like it's tangible. Wouldn't you say that's true, Heather?
It's absolutely true. It's so much fun. Like, it's fun to read, and it expands who we feel like we are when we're reading the book. So like, I love it, and I read it how many times, and I still enjoy it.
You probably read it more times than I did.
So, in light of the fact that, choosing the right clothing to fit your body is essential to feeling good, choosing the right cover, choosing the right fonts, choosing the right design is so important in a book. And for Cher and her, elegance and style, we really wanted to make sure that was also reflected in the book. So I want to talk a little bit with you about the cover design, because I feel like it just came out so beautifully. It just represents who you are so just so strongly. So let's talk a little bit about that experience of cover design, and how did you decide that the cover of you standing next to the mannequin was the right one for the cover?
Well, first of all, I talk about my style uniform in the book, and I'm wearing my uniform. So there isn't anything that I can't do at this time in my life, when I've got on my black blazer, my leopard pumps, my red lip, and my little white tank top under. There's nothing I can't do, because that's my outfit. So anytime like I need to go into anything and I don't want to have to think about what I'm going to wear, this is my uniform. And I talk about it in the book that everybody needs to have one, something that they feel strong in, that they feel like they can overcome the world in, that they feel confident in, and that they feel they look damn good in. And that's that outfit for me. So when I don't know how many times I've sent people to your photographer also, April, because people that know me said, this woman captured me like nobody could on film. Everybody has said that. Everybody has said, when they look at me on this picture, this was her idea, the dress and the mannequin. That I had
Hmm.
nothing to do with that. That was her idea. And the pearls, I wear pearls every day, everywhere. That was all her. So when
Mm,
I saw that one with me looking like I got this,
you do.
and I do. And beside the mannequin, that's what everybody. I got like four different photographs that I thought were the top four, and all my friends that I showed it to said, without a doubt, this one was overarching the best.
Yes, I agree. And I love that you show that it's not just only about you, it's about you and the person you're styling. And I think that to me was such a beautiful, I mean, Cher had so many beautiful pictures as you can imagine for us to choose from. I mean, we had a whole gallery of photos, and to really boil it down to what would be the best one to use, because you had some solo images that were also
Yep,
just stunning, right? But I
yep.
think that this feeling of the mannequin here is the center stage of the book. She's the center and you're the supporting piece to make her feel beautiful, I think is such a great
And
design.
then all the work that you guys went into, because then Heather would send me all these, and I'm like, oh my God, there's too many for me to choose from. Heather, you got to choose. But the way you put it all together and the red and how it pops out, because I think red's a power color. Like
Yes, it
I
is.
only wear a red lipstick when I mean business, and that's
Yeah.
most of the time. But I think it's a power color. And I
Yeah.
just think it looks great.
Yeah. And I love the red spine and then
Like,
how we carried the red into the back and with the quote being the confidence is the single most beautiful thing a woman can wear. We kept that in red. So your eye is drawn right to that. And then we did choose this beautiful picture of you on the back cover for the bio here with your She Can Love and the lips logo. I
yep,
thought that was just great. And then Brooke Thomas, we have that quote from her on the top.
yes.
And you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, she's a number one best-selling author. That she did that in one day. She is the head CEO of what's called Live Out Loud, and it is a religious-based business group of women, and they just all support each other and get together. And she's amazing, and she moves mountains. This woman, and for her to read my book and make that comment just means absolutely the world to me.
Yes. And I'm going to read it because I think it's such a beautiful thing. She said, bold, inspiring, and refreshingly authentic. This book is more than a fashion guide. It's a roadmap to confidence for every woman. And that really encapsulates the book.
And I've been saying that quote for years. I mean, that's
Hmm.
been my quote for years. I almost named the book that. I
Hmm.
was, trying to decide which one, but there's so many books on confidence. I thought
Hmm.
this one had a much more of a catchy, like, okay, what's that all about type of feeling than, oh, another book on how to tell me how to be confident.
Yes, yes. Well, and how you look is a direct reflection of the confidence you feel inside.
Correct.
So I think that the reason that your experience and the way you've styled women for 45 years is such an integral piece of confidence. So to embody confidence and to dress really schleppy is not possible.
Yeah.
I think, you know. So what else would to kind of round out sort of the process of becoming an author, of going from an idea and having all this expertise and then getting to the day where the book launches. You had a beautiful pre-launch party last Friday. I mean, the amount of women that showed up, the way you staged your She Can Love looked beautiful with the chocolates and the book signing table out front and the balloons and all of the women that showed up to today achieving a number one new release in your Amazon category. It's just kind of like this, one thing popping like popcorn one after another. So what do you want to say about the experience or about what you hope this book will do from here on forward?
I hope and pray that every single woman that reads it can take the lessons and put them into her real life. Because again, you can read books all day long and it's not stuff that the everyday woman can do. But this book, she can do. Um,
Hmm.
everything that's in this book, every single woman can do and can practice if she
Hmm.
wants to. And if
Yeah.
she wants to feel more confident about herself, there are steps for every single woman, girl, anybody in here who wants to look better and understand how to dress for their body type and where they are in their lives. I think that's really important too. And I, I just, I, I want every woman to understand that, you know, what you see on TV isn't real. I mean, that they're real women, and I know they're beautiful, but that's what they're being paid to be. They were born that way. That's not reality. Reality is, I wish I was the smartest woman in the world. I'm not. But you know what? I'm smart enough to know better. And I'm smart enough to know what I need to know. And if I'm not smart enough to know something, then I'm smart enough to pick up a book and read about it. That's what I think makes me smart. I don't have to be the smartest person in the room. I just have to be smart enough to know what I know, and if I don't know, how do I go about getting it? And that's what I hope this book does for women.
I love it. Well, I think you've done such a beautiful job sharing your expertise, putting it together. Everyone in the O'Leary Publishing team is so grateful to have had the opportunity to work with you, to experience your energy and your enthusiasm, your spark. I think that brings confidence. And wherever you go, you really spread that, Cher. I hope you know
Thank you.
that we feel
Thank
that way about you. And so now is the time we just want to give a couple people a chance to unmute and just share something maybe that they loved what they heard about you sharing about the book, or maybe they follow you online and want to share a note of congratulations. So feel free if you're on the Zoom to unmute and just share a word or two, and then we'll wrap it up for the evening and wish this book big success out into the world.
Maybe I answered everybody's questions.
I- I'll start.
There she is.
So I'll start. So congratulations for sure. It's just great to see that you've gone through this whole change and just to help everyone. You've done like you always have, but this just kind of solidifies it all into one little package. So
Thank you.
I thank you for that. I appreciate it so much. I can't wait to get the book. I ordered it from Amazon and it's still not here,
Oh,
but as soon as I get it, I will be reading it.
okay,
Um,
good. Thank you so
and
much.
then I hope, like I said, I hope to see you in Florida when I travel
That
this
would be
year.
great.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna actually, I'm gonna call you and just prepare you for me
Okay.
coming in the door.
Okay, good.
Oh,
Okay, good.
that's great. And you should have the book. The book just launched today, Nancy, so it should be coming this week.
Yeah,
You should have it in your hands. So that's
yeah,
exciting.
I know it is exciting. Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank
Nancy,
you
for
so
showing up
much.
for me.
Thank you.
Does anyone else want to unmute and say a word or two? And it's okay if not. We are, we covered a lot of bases this evening.
Yeah.
Cher shared so much of her heart, her story, where she came from, how she got from Nebraska to Miami in her 67 Chevy, the amazing
Yes.
career that you had with Chico's, all of the women you impacted through that vehicle of working in the corporate world, and now all the women you're impacting at She Can Love and with your books. So, we're just really grateful that you were willing to take the time, invest the energy, and put all of this experience that you've gained over these years into this book that is going to be working for and with women around the world now. So thank you so much, Cher, for being so visionary and for trusting us to be part of the process with you.
I couldn't have done it without you, April and Heather.
Yeah.
We
Well, so
love we
this,
loved every minute of it.
we
Thank
did.
you. It was fun.
And
It was
So
fun.
we just want to make sure to ask everyone to leave a review on Amazon about the book,
Oh, please.
yes.
because the more reviews that are there, the more people that can find it, and the more people that Cher can impact. So please, and buy a book and give it to someone, share it with someone. I'm already thinking of all the people I'm going to be giving it to, all my girlfriends, my
I can't,
sisters, my
well, I can't believe how many people bought 5 and 10 books at the boutique the other day. They said, I'm going to buy this for all my girlfriends. So I signed everyone. They gave me the list and I signed it to every single one of their friends. So what an honor.
Yes. It's beautiful. And the thing that's so interesting about books that I love the most is that word of mouth is still the best way to share a book. I mean, if you think about the most recent books you may have bought or read, it's likely that you bought or read it because someone else told you it was a great book.
You're
yes.
right.
Right? And so it's still this kind of interesting industry where we have this word of mouth that is a more impactful way to spread the message of a book than necessarily an Instagram ad or, some sort of a magazine ad or whatever. So, like Heather said, the more that you can interact with, obviously leaving a review on Amazon, but telling people about it, buying them a copy, sharing it with them. This is the way to me that books can catch on fire. So, Sher, you've done such a beautiful job already doing that, and I know we'll continue to do that and we will help as well. So, that's all we have for you this evening. Thank you,
Awesome.
Sher, for being part of the virtual book launch, and for those of you who joined tonight, it's been a pleasure. Make sure you hop on over to Amazon, purchase multiple copies, give them to your friends, leave a review, and we will help Sher to get her book spread around the world.
Sounds
Thank you
Thank
good.
so
you.
much. Good night,
Love
Bye-bye.
you. Bye,
everybody.
honey. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh.